Hello everyone, so welcome back to another class. In this class, we are going to discuss a story from 5th Standard English. Unit 2, Letter to God. In that, we have already discussed the poem written by Christina Rossetti. You may check that video on the description box. So, we are directly going to the story, The Pleasure of Rain. Pleasure means happiness. Okay, the pleasure of rain or the happiness of rain. Rain gives happiness to everybody, isn't it? So, we are going to read that paragraph. The house, the only one in the whole valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho had done nothing else but look at the sky toward the northeast. Now, we are really going to get some rain, woman, he said. The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." During the meal, big drops of rain began to fall. That's a happy moment, isn't it? Huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. Lencho went out to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are like new coins. The big drops are cents and the little ones are fives. Then the second part, the night of his sorrow. Okay, in the first part, it is a happy moment in the whole, isn't it? But in the second part, a night of sorrow, not much happy, a sad moment. Okay, so going to the passage. He looked at the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly, a strong wind began to blow. Very large hailstone began to fall. Okay, very large hailstones began to fall. It's really getting bad now. We already discussed it's a bad situation in the story. Okay, it's really getting bad now, exclaimed Lencho. Here is a name Lencho. Okay, you may see in that picture. That is Lencho, a main character of the story. Okay, I hope it passes quickly. I did not pass quickly. It hailed for an hour on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, and the whole valley. Okay, the rain became an hailstorm. Okay, then the field was white as if covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. Okay, it's a bad moment in the story we already discussed. Not a leaf remained on the trees. Look at the picture. You may see that picture. There is nothing in that tree. No leaves, only branches are remaining. And near of that, our Lencho is standing. He is so sad of seeing the valley. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers had disappeared from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. That night was a sorrowful one. First, we came from a happiness, and the second one, a sorrowful night. This year, we will have no corn. Yes, the Lencho began to think. Okay, then there's no one to help us. We will all go hungry this year. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, there was a single hope, help from God. Yes, there is a single hope remaining for the whole family. What is that? Yes, help from God. Okay, God will help them. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, God. Okay, they are thinking and thinking about God. Then at the post office, the third part is at the post office. Okay, this is a good story or a meaningful story that everybody like. Okay, at the post office. You know what is post office? Yes. Lencho was an ox of a man, walking like an animal in the field. Okay, the Lencho is an ox. You know what is an ox? An animal. Okay, a hard-working animal. Then Lencho is like an ox. He is a hard-working animal in the field. Okay, in the cornfield. Still, he knew how to write. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter. For whom he is writing a letter? Yes, absolutely, to the God. It is a letter to God. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Okay, so we are going to read that letter. What will be there in the letter? Okay. Dear God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes. Because of the hailstorm you send, everything is lost. Okay, he have written everything in the letter. Hopefully writing Lencho. His signature has been given there. Okay, then he wrote to God on the envelope and went to the town to post that letter to God. At the post office, he pasted a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. Okay, he dropped it into the mailbox. He is sending a letter to God. The postman went to his boss laughing heartily. He showed him the letter to the God. The postmaster also broke into a laugh. They began to laugh while looking at that letter. But immediately he turned serious. What a faith! I wish I had the faith of a man who wrote his letter. Imagine starting up a correspondence with God. Okay, the moment is given in the picture. Postmaster and the postman. There you can see so many posts are there. So many letters are there. Okay, then the postmaster came up with an idea. Send a reply to Lencho from God. They began thinking about that and they got an idea. sending a reply to Lencho from God. But he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper to answer the letter. He took a collection from the employees of the post office. Yes, it's a good moment, a nice moment, happy moment. Okay, he himself gave a part of his salary to help Lencho. Okay, then, but it wasn't impossible for him to put together 100 pesos. He was able to send the farmer only 70 pesos. Pesos means rupee. Okay, then he put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho. He sent a letter along with it. It contained only a signature of God. Okay, then the next part, God replies. Okay, the Lencho got the letter from God with pesos or with money. The following day, Lencho went to the post office earlier than usual. He asked the postman if there was a letter for him. The postman handed a letter to him. The postmaster looked on from the doorway of his office. In that picture, you could see the Lencho is reading the letter from God. And also, the postmaster is there on the post office. Then, Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake. Immediately, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. After reading the letter, he counted the money. It will be yes. It is only 70 pesos. And he started again to write a letter. He started to write. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp. He licked the stamp and then affixed it on the envelope with the thumb of his fist. Again, he are sending a letter to God for remaining 30 pesos. Then, the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. Okay, so here you can see the picture of Lencho. He is writing for remaining 30 pesos. He is writing the letter to God. We are going through the letter, what have been given in that letter. Merciful God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very badly. But don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks or bunch of thieves. Okay, sincerely, Lencho. Okay, so what you got from the story? Yes, the postmaster and the whole post office began or going to help the Lencho. But the Lencho thought the post office employees are a bunch of crooks or a bunch of thieves, isn't it? So concluding the story by Gregorio Lopez Fuentes. Okay, if you need the Malayalam meaning along with the story, place a comment in the comment box. See you soon in the next video. This is Visak signing off.